Welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros, and we're going to be getting into strategy Bitcoin here today, so make sure to stay tuned. And this tweet came out from Saylor, and he's saying he's thinking about the S&P right now. Look at what strategy has done on a annualized return since they've started their Bitcoin strategy versus what the SPY has done. Around 14% annualized strategy, blowing that out the water with around 92% annualized. So we see right here that strategy does not need the S&P. The S&P needs strategy. So we didn't get included. It's not a if we will get included, it is a when we will get included for strategy, because they do qualify. And we can see right here, MicroStrategy didn't make it this time, but the next chance for them to qualify and to get entered into the S&P will be on December 5th. Here are some of the companies that beat out strategy this time around, but the next key date we have to be paying attention to is going to be December 5th for S&P inclusion. And currently, where are we at on the top US market cap companies? We're currently sitting at a $95 billion market cap for strategy at 111. And I want to kind of explain this in today's video because people are saying that I'm oversimplifying what happens when MSTR gets included in the S&P. What will happen is they will get an allocation based on their market cap ranking. So right now they're at 111, and if they go higher than that, in December, around December 5th or whatever the specific date is, if they're at 50 market cap ranking, their allocation percentage will be higher. And basically all that means is the fund will have to go out and buy shares of strategy stock so that they are included for whatever that allocation percentage is. If it's 0.15%, they'll have to make sure they have enough strategy shares for that 0.15% allocation, which could be a lot of money flowing into strategy. And then going on, as passive flows go into the S&P, some of those passive flows will go into buying strategy stock. So that could make the MNAV expand, and Saylor could sell those shares back into the market using the ATM to buy BTC. So I hope that explains it for you there. And we can see right here, this is just the updates from what strategy is currently traded at 335.87 right now. You have an MNAV when you're looking at the enterprise value at around 157. The market cap is around $96 million, but they still have $70 billion of BTC, and they're going to be accumulating more Bitcoin as the weeks go on. And we have 636,500 Bitcoin right now for strategy on their total holdings there. So that is definitely good to see. And one thing I want to talk about here is there's a lot of people upset, frustrated with the strategy price action. So if you look at strategy year to date, it's up 10%. And then you can see the 6 month, 1 month, and 1 week return versus BTC right here on this chart. And this is what a lot of people are upset who have invested in strategy, especially people who have gotten in this year, or maybe around the hype cycle, November or December last year. They're very upset about the strategy price action. So what the Bitcoin Bros do, what we invest, when we invest, what we do is we have a 4 to 5 year time horizon for strategy. In our view, nothing has really changed for strategy. Obviously, the MNAV has compressed, but we believe we will go through moments and periods of time where the MNAV does compress. We could potentially go to a situation where the MNAV is trading lower than 1. We also think we'll go through hype cycles where the MNAV could go back up to 2, potentially 3, and there will be a lot of hype for the stock. We're going to go through cycles of bullish and bearishness, and this stock is very volatile. But we think you need to have a long-term thesis when investing, at least hodl strategy for 4 years. And if you've been holding strategy for 4 years and you bought it 4 years ago, you're sitting pretty good. You got some great returns. But I think right now, if you're looking at the year-to-date changes versus Bitcoin and what strategy has done over the past 2 months, past week, past month, past day, that's the wrong way to look at any investment, in my personal opinion. You gotta invest for the long term, for the future. So not financial advice, just my thoughts there, because there is still a lot of frustration with strategy holders on social media. And then we can see right here from the Bitcoin ETFs, to give you guys a bit of a Bitcoin update here, we can see the past week the Bitcoin ETF flows were positive, had a couple of red days here, but overall last week was positive, which is really good to see, especially with all the fear in the market right now with a potential bad job situation. The jobs report came out pretty terrible, a lot lower than expectations, and there are some potential recession fears in the market right now. So what is really causing the sell-off, I believe, is the bad jobs numbers that we got, and also the hot inflation read that we got last month for July. We'll have August number for CPI coming out on September 11th. So this is a key date that you got to be watching out for on Thursday here is going to be the CPI number. If it comes in hot, that's not going to be good. The Federal Reserve is going to look at that and they're going to be cautious to potentially lower interest rates. But if we start to see deflation and we start to see the CPI number come down, we could potentially get a 50 basis point cut this month. That is not out of the realm of possibility. And because those jobs numbers actually came out so bad, if you look at the Fed rate monitor tool here, we're currently pressing in a 25 basis point cut at around 91%. But on the other hand, we hadn't seen this before. For a 50 basis point rate cut, it's actually up to 9%, and this was not priced in at all. So this is now a possibility. And if we get a really low CPI number where we're seeing deflation, we could get a 50 basis point cut this month, especially with the bad jobs reports. We heard what Jerome Powell said a couple weeks ago. The Federal Reserve is kind of changing their stance on inflation. They believe they want inflation to trend lower over a long period of time. They want inflation to trend to 2% over a longer period of time. So not worry about the short-term volatility of CPI, but they think that over the next couple of years, if we can trend towards 2%, that's okay. They want to make sure that the job market is okay and that we don't go into recession. That's what Jerome Powell, summarizing what he said in that speech he had a couple of weeks ago. So we could get a 50 basis point cut this month, and if that happens, Bitcoin's going to go up and a lot of other assets are going to go up, especially the traditional stock market. And then to give you guys an update here, $100 billion Ohio State Teachers Retirement Fund has bought $23.7 million worth of strategy MSTR in Q2. So Ohio State Retirement Fund buying Bitcoin through strategy, definitely good to see there. And then on just another chart that's going with the Q4 Bitcoin going up thesis, you can see right here, gold has actually led Bitcoin. Every time gold goes up and then trades sideways, during that trade sideways period, that's when we see Bitcoin follow gold. That's what could potentially happen here. Along with the M2 money supply, if Bitcoin continues to follow that, we're looking at a Q4 peak right now, along with the 4-year Bitcoin cycle. So everything's pointing for a good Q4. Seasonality for October and November is really good for Bitcoin. September is actually a down month. So everything is looking for a good Q4 for BTC. So let me know what you guys think about all that in the comment section below. Appreciate you watching all the way to the end. I hope you found some value. Like and subscribe for more content. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. See you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.